All right, when I say the word crypto, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably speculation. You know, Lambos, high risk, maybe getting rich quick. Well, today we're going to flip that entire idea on its head. Because the crypto story unfolding in Latin America, it's something completely different. It's a story of survival. I mean, just look at this. It's like we're talking about two totally separate worlds. On one side, you've got the crypto we hear about in the news, basically a global casino. But then you look at Latin America, and it's being used for survival, for finding stability. For many, it's become an actual lifeline.
So, to really get why crypto is playing this role, we have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. And that problem is, frankly, a devastating economic crisis that millions of people are living through every single day. It's like an economic ice age.
This quote, wow, it just nails it. Saving in local currency is like watching an ice cube melt every day. Just let that sink in for a moment. Imagine every dollar you earn, every bit you try to save is just disappearing. Not over years, but literally day by day.
And if you think that ice cube metaphor is just some poetic exaggeration, well, check this out. 120%. That's the annual inflation rate in Argentina. So no, it's not an exaggeration at all. That is the ice cube melting in real time.
And here's the thing. This isn't just an Argentinian story. We're seeing the same struggles in Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, major countries where people are desperately trying to protect the value of their work as their money just becomes worth less and less.
So, when you're in a situation like that, what can you possibly do? Well, millions of people are turning to technology for an answer. And specifically, they're turning to something called stablecoins. These have become a true financial safe harbor. Let's break down what that actually means. So, just so we're all on the same page here, a stablecoin is not like Bitcoin, with its crazy price swings. The whole point of a stablecoin is in its name. It's stable. Its value is tied, or pegged, to a real-world asset, usually the US dollar. So for all intents and purposes, it's like having a digital dollar in your pocket.
And this chart really tells the story. A whopping 40% of all crypto use in the region is in stablecoins. What that tells you loud and clear is that this isn't about gambling. This is about protection. This is people trying to get their hands on something like the dollar, so that inflation doesn't just eat away everything they have.
So who's using this? We're talking about young entrepreneurs, freelancers working with international clients, families sending money back and forth across borders. But here's the really critical part. It's also for the millions of people who are completely outside the traditional banking system. For them, this isn't just a better option, it's often the only option.
Okay, so how is this all changing daily life? Well, the impact is huge, and it's happening in three main ways. First, remittances, sending money home. It's now way faster and so much cheaper. Second, you've got more and more local shops and merchants starting to accept crypto payments. And third, and this is the big one, it's about secure personal savings. People can finally hold on to their money without a bank or inflation taking a cut.
But look, let's be real. This isn't some perfect utopia. This new financial world brings its own set of problems, its own kind of chaos. And there are some serious risks and challenges for everyone involved, from regular folks to the governments trying to figure out how to handle it all.
And you can see just how messy it is when you look at how governments are reacting. It's been called a chaotic mosaic because every country is doing its own thing. You've got Brazil trying to create its own digital currency. Argentina is just reacting to things as they happen. And Mexico is trying to fit it into old laws. There's no unified plan, and that creates a ton of uncertainty.
And for the average person on the street, the dangers are very, very real. We're talking about incredibly sophisticated scams that can drain your savings in an instant. There's a massive need for better financial education. You've got the digital divide, which risks leaving even more people behind. And on top of all that, there's a heavy reliance on platforms based in other countries. So, taking all of that into account, the good, the bad, and the chaotic, the big question is, where does this all go from here? What's next? Let's take a look at what the future might hold.
Well, all the signs suggest that this trend is only going to get bigger. We're going to see even more use of stablecoins for everyday purchases, crypto remittances will keep growing, more corner stores and local businesses will start accepting it, and hopefully, we'll start seeing more homegrown platforms pop up built by Latin Americans for Latin Americans. So if you take away just one single thing today, let it be this. In Latin America, crypto isn't about getting rich. It's not a luxury. It's a tool for economic defense. It's what people turn to when everything else has failed them.
And this whole situation forces us to ask a really fundamental question, maybe the biggest question of all. When the official money of a country can't do its most basic job, which is to hold its value, then what even is money? The answer to that question might be getting written right now in real time across Latin America.